We will be presenting Chapter 2, Written in the Rocks by Jerry Coyne. Without fossils, our knowledge of the history of life would not exist because through fossils, scientists discover the evolution of organisms and the environment in which they lived. The process of fossilization is as follows. First, the organism must die, then be buried by sediments. The outer hard cast or shell must be replaced by dissolved minerals. The fossil then must survive plate tectonics, climate change, and pressure and heating from Earth's crust. Finally, it must be discovered. Because some do not survive, the fossil record is incomplete. This is an example of a dinosaur going through the process of fossilization. The age of a fossil is determined by radiometric dating. The deeper the layer of sediment, the older the fossil. The different layers of strata show the evolution from simple to complex organisms. Layers of strata help scientists develop different time periods in history. These are the geological time periods in history.
The first organisms, photosynthetic bacteria, appeared 3.5 billion years ago. The first mammals showed up to 250 million years ago. The first birds showed up 50 million years ago. Evolutionary theory states that two species have one common ancestor and that the one common ancestor is the missing link. A transitional species dissimilar to an ancestral species show a combination of traits from organisms that lived before and after it. Evolution can happen in a smaller scale, such as change in size and shape called microevolution, or on a larger scale, such as formation of new species called macroevolution. One of the greatest discoveries in the fossil record was the transition from fish to amphibian. 390 million years ago, the only vertebrates on Earth were fish, until 30 million years ago when tetrapods, four-footed vertebrates, were discovered. Since the 19th century,
the similarity between skeletons and birds and some dinosaurs, even though they are reptiles, led paleontologists to theorize that they had a common ancestor. The most famous of all transitional forms is the crow-sized Archaeopteryx, a reptile that had large feathers similar to modern-day birds. Scientists guess that feathers may have evolved from scales of reptiles. Here is an image of the fossilized Archaeopteryx. The fossil record includes evidence of the development of feathers before the evolution of flight. There were also evidence of many feathered dinosaurs who could not fly. Before flight, scientists believe that feathers might have been used for insulation. Theropod dinosaurs may have been partially warm-blooded, and their feathers would have helped maintain body temperature. More examples of the evolution of modern birds include dinosaurs having longer forelimbs, which may have evolved into wings, the evolution of specific movements of muscles, which may have been used for the flying motion. Natural selection would favor organisms who could fly farther, which may account for the evolution of hollow bones for lightness. Another example of transitional fossils are between terrestrial and aquatic mammals, specifically the hippopotamus and the whale. Biologists believe that the whale's closest relative is the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus spend most of their time in water and come ashore to graze at night, making them both aquatic and terrestrial mammals. Additionally, whale DNA and vestigial traits, such as the femur and the pelvis, show that their ancestors lived on land. The femur and the pelvis are found in terrestrial mammals for lower extremity movement. Here is a picture of a whale showing its vestigial traits. There are other examples of transitional fossils, such as the evolution of ants from wasps and the evolution of snakes from lizards. The end.